Welcome to another Cardano update. Like always, make sure to check out our memberships and our Patreon if you want access to all of these charts, and I hope you enjoy. So first I want to start on the daily chart just to remind you what we are currently doing. So after getting this low right here in the main second wave of this 1-2 setup, we formed a first wave move to the upside right here. Now let's go back to the 4-hour. And this first wave only has 3 waves, which is not that great, but it can be considered a first wave. And then after that, we formed a second wave move down, which had an ABC structure. And after the second wave, we just went sideways for about 3 months or so. Well, actually 2 months. And you could call this a 1-2 setup if you really wanted to. But you know, this is just sideways price action. Does not really matter what this is, to be honest. What matters is that we got a third wave move to the upside, and as you can see, the third wave there got way above the 200% extension, which was the minimum target for the 1-2 setup and for the third wave. And maybe you could say that the third wave has not even topped here. Maybe it's actually still going on, but I cannot really confirm that until we get some kind of big correction. And honestly, this correction was big enough to confirm that a fourth wave is happening, because we went from about 65.6 cents to about 51 cents. So yeah, you could call this a fourth wave move, which leads me to believe that right now we are going in a fifth wave move to the upside. And of that fifth wave, we already have the 1, 2, 3, 4 setup, which means that we only need a fifth wave of a fifth wave to complete it, and that will confirm that below right here of the second wave move down is in, and that we are actually heading in a main third wave move. Now keep in mind, it is very likely that the low is already in. I don't think we will test this low again, to be honest with you. That's very, very unlikely. I'm not gonna say impossible, because nothing is impossible, but it is extremely unlikely that we drop right now. And it's extremely unlikely that we drop like 20 cents. I don't think that's gonna happen anymore, so you could probably already say that the second wave move down is in, especially if you want to count this as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 setup, so it is theoretically complete, but you know, I kind of want to see another high first. Now, as you can see, we are currently going sideways, which is to be expected, and this is actually good because we are cooling off on the 4-hour RSI. I've already told the Discord members about this, so you know, if you want access to the Discord server and if you want semi-daily updates, then check out our memberships. And you know, I mean, we could get another low in the fourth wave right here. Nothing is really out of the question, especially because we did not really bounce after hitting the 0.618 extension of this. Well, actually, let me go on the 1 hour for this. We went to the 0.618 extension of this 1-2 setup right here, and we are not really bouncing, which leads me to believe that this 1-2 setup will get invalidated and that it would just turn into some kind of ABC structure, which would be fine. And keep in mind, if we drop below 71 cents, it's going to be very likely that we get another low in the fourth wave move down, and that could put us at the 50% extension right here, which is at 66.6 cents. As you can see, we are not oversold on the 1 hour chart, which leads me to believe that this move is actually very possible. Now, we could also drop below the 0.382 extension for a bit and maybe get to this middle right here. That would also be enough, but you know, the price cannot really bounce there because there's no support there. So yeah, I would like to see the price go to about 66.6 cents first. But, you know, if we somehow get a pump now, and if we get above this third wave high right here, which is at 82.1 cents, well actually 82 cents, that will not necessarily confirm that the fourth wave move down is in, but it's gonna make it very likely that it's in, because, you know, it would mean that we are in a third wave of this 1-2 setup, and that third wave of this 1-2 setup right here should get to 89.1 cents. So we should get something like this to touch the 200% extension right there. And then of course we will need a 4 and a 5, and the fifth wave should honestly put us somewhere between the 93.4 cents level and the 96.4 cents level. But keep in mind, like I said, the third wave maybe is not even in, so this could just overextend, and yeah, I will make sure to update this in case we don't get any correction after this pump, which I'm still expecting. So yeah, things are still looking good. Now, like I said, this will only complete a first wave to the upside. And I don't know if you watched my previous videos, you probably have. But if you have not, I'm comparing the move that we are getting right now to what we got in the previous cycle right here. And what do you know, in the previous cycle in November, we also had a huge pump. This was a 100% pump, and it happened in a matter of days, just like the one that we are getting right now. And what do you know? This also happened after we formed a big 1-2 setup. So things are looking very, very similar to the previous cycle. Also, this happened in November during a halving year, and right now we are in a halving year in November. Now keep in mind, the first wave move actually topped way above the first wave high right here. So it is very likely that the first wave move in this cycle just overextends like crazy. Now of course you could say that maybe the first wave has topped here and this is the second wave, but I cannot really count 5 waves there. But you could theoretically say that, and even so, I mean, things are still looking good because as you can see right here, the first wave still went above the first wave high right here. Me personally, I think the first wave topped here, but you could also say that maybe it has stopped here. No matter what you say, I mean, it is very clear that we will get a second wave at some point, no matter if it's this or this right here. And even though it does not look deep when you look at it from this perspective, this correction was actually a very deep correction, and we went down about 42% in a matter of 2 days, and then we just went sideways for a month or so. Now keep in mind, here we went sideways because Bitcoin dominance was going up. So if we start going up on the Bitcoin dominance chart in December, like we did in the previous cycle, there's going to be a big chance that Cardano just goes sideways until the beginning of next year, and then in 2025 we get a huge pump like we got in the previous cycle. Now of course it does not have to play out the exact same like I said, and you know, the second wave move down could literally bottom earlier, so yeah, things are looking fine. But still, after we get this first wave right here, you should expect some kind of correction, and keep in mind we are currently overbought on the daily chart, and almost every time we get to the overbought territory on the daily, we usually get a correction. Now not each time, as you can see here, after the first wave we got to the overbought territory, we cooled off, but we never actually got to the oversold territory. So yeah, I'm not expecting Cardano to go to the oversold territory on the daily. I'm just expecting it to get at least some kind of correction and some kind of ABC structure, because that's needed. I mean, that's healthy. So we kind of need something like that. So let's say the first wave tops at like maybe $1 or so. The second wave should drop to about 70 cents or so, at least in my opinion. But don't worry, because after that we will get a third wave of the third wave. And if you look at what happened in the third wave of the third wave in the previous cycle, it just went crazy. I mean, here we went from 12 cents, if you want to take this low, to about $1.55, and as you can see, the third wave of the third wave got above the previous all-time high, which is the 100% extension right here. So, you know, if we copy this again, it could be that the third wave right here gets to the 200% extension and above the 200% extension of this 1-2 setup right here, and then we get a fourth and then a fifth, and the main third wave actually completes at maybe the 2.272 extension or maybe even the 2.414 extension. And then we get a fourth wave move down, a main fourth wave move down, and then the fifth wave puts us at like, I don't know, maybe somewhere between $6 and $8. It could obviously go higher than that, like I said. It is possible that Cardano goes to $12 in this cycle, but that's not my prediction just because I think that's a little too much. But keep in mind, if Bitcoin goes to like 250k, it's very likely that Cardano hits like $10. In a bullish scenario, of course. Speaking of Bitcoin, Bitcoin is still going sideways right now, but as you can see, it's currently trying to get above that 2.272 extension of this 1-2 setup. And it really does look like we will get to about 100k very soon, just because Bitcoin is not getting rejected. As you can see on the RSI is cooling off and the price is just continuing to go up. So yeah, things are actually looking very good, and I think we will get a pump to about 100k very soon. And I would not be surprised if that happened in the next couple of days, just because Bitcoin dominance always goes down in November, so if we want to get that correction on the Bitcoin dominance chart very soon, then we kind of need to get the pump to 100k on the Bitcoin chart, and then we need to cool off, which will most likely make the Bitcoin dominance chart go down. Now keep in mind, if you look at the monthly chart of the Bitcoin dominance chart, it's already red, so right now we don't really need to go down again, we just need to go sideways. And I think it's very likely that we get another cycle high in December, because what's happening in this cycle looks very similar to what happened in the previous cycle. As you can see here, we also had a red wick in November, so maybe we will get another cycle high in December, which could put us at the next extension, and the next extension is at 66%, so that's a lot. I don't know if that will happen. Like I said, we could start the altcoin season now and it would be fine. And no matter what happens, if you can remember what I said just a couple of minutes ago, when Bitcoin dominance was going up in the previous cycle right here, Cardano did not really do anything. It went sideways, but it did not go down. So, you know, things are still looking good in my opinion. And I'm still expecting Cardano, like I said, to hit about $5 to $8 in this cycle. As you can see, we are not overbought on the monthly. So yeah, things are looking very good. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, check out our Patreon and our memberships if you want access to all of our charts. Like, subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.